All right, we are live. Hello, everybody. How's it going? We are getting set up and mounted. There we go. And today, we're going to just hop right into it. And we're actually going to look at the color wheel today. I haven't done a color wheel one in a while. There are some other videos on color wheel on my channel, but as far as information, we're gonna go into more of an advance. And hey, welcome. If you're watching this on the replay and you haven't been here, welcome. My name is Gabriel Stockton. And what we're doing is Watercolor Wednesday live. We've been doing this for a while now. And what I'm excited about, let me drop this down just a titch more. There we go. So, we're going to be using this little sample sheet by Han Mueller. We're also going to be using this Kilimanjaro 9x12 pad. Excuse me. We're also going to be using a watercolor stick. We're going to be using some Daniel Smith tubes. Okay. Speaking of Daniel Smith, if you don't have one of these yet, you might want to get your hand on it. You can get this at your local art supply store. This covers all of the Daniel Smith. So, and if you have an old one, which has this, the brand ambassadors, the new one actually has the gouaches. So the new one looks like this. That's the old one. And there are new colors Daniel Smith has out now. And also along with the gouache. Okay. And the reason why I'm showing you this is because we're going to pick out some colors today that I normally don't paint with. All right. So first up that I'm going to use, because I know you're going to all ask, is we're going to use this color right here. Cadmium Yellow Deep. All right. And it says hue. The reason why it says hue is because they've taken out the metals out of the actual tube of paint. I'm going to pull this out. Now we're going to have this focus a little bit better, hopefully. There we go. So cadmium yellow deep. Then we got cadmium orange hue. We're going to be using Pyro Scarlet today. All right. Hey, welcome. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Another red we're going to be using is Permanent Alizarin Crimson. If you have Alizarin Crimson, you're going to want the permanent because of the light fastness. All right. We got some greens we're going to use today. We got Permanent Green. All Daniel Smith. We've got Hooker's Green. All right. Another green we have is Teal Blue. This is moving more into the blues. This is Cobalt Teal Blue. Definitely a pretty color. We might sneak in some lavender. I also got some titanium white gouache. All right. We've got some cobalt turquoise. And we've got some cerulean blue. I couldn't find my tube of cobalt blue, so I'll be using the watercolor stick. This has less water than this. Obviously, this isn't a tube. If it has less water, that means you're getting more pigment. All right. And we've got cobalt turquoise. Don't miss take it with the cobalt teal blue. Do you see that? They are different. Hey, Susan Hunter, how are you? How's the weather in your neck of the woods? Well, it's nice and sunny out here today. I got ultramarine blue. Do you know what to do when you get a tube like this? What you want to do is I have a special little tool that crimps it like that. Let's see if he wants to come out and join us. Oh, yep, there he is. So I have a video on this as well. And we just put this little bad boy in here like that. Make sure you don't get your fingers. You know, this is pretty handy. I've never really done this looking through the phone camera. There we go. And see that? And we pull this out. You don't want to lose this little key thing. All right. Okay, I'm going to use some paper towels. These are Viva Select. We are going to be looking at this wonderful color chart. So this is another type of color wheel, which is called a color harmony wheel. And how this works is if this color right here, lemon yellow, is the star of your show, then you're going to want to get phthalo green and cadmium red, okay? And then these other wonderful colors can work in that same scheme, okay? But before we jump into today's episode, so many of you have asked, here is my painting. I went over to Lightbox and I did this wonderful colossal figure of Luigi. And we have Elliot from Pete's Dragon. And we have the car from Monsters Inc. This is Skelly's, you know, the guy that's got one eyeball. I actually had these. I found these toys. I found this toy at a thrift store. I found these toys at an antique store. And I actually was in Pasadena, right in front of the city hall there. And I had Luigi, a little character. He's in the car still. I had him setting up, and the light was hitting him here, creating all these great shadows. And the same light was falling on all of these other things. So I had the wonderful opportunity to finally meet one of my favorite people, which was James Gurney. All right. What an opportunity. If you ever get a chance, check out Lighthouse. It was a good time. What are you guys drinking? Put it in your comments. Are you drinking coffee or tea? I am drinking some raw kombucha, mango. So I'm just going to wet my whistle. Let me know who's here. What are you guys doing? What have you been up to for the week? Susan Hunter is drinking water. All right. Well, I want to swatch out some colors. So I have my photo reference, and I'm going to show it to you here shortly. But really what we're going to do is swatch out some colors. So I have found these colors. So cadmium red, orange, and cadmium yellow deep are going to be the star of my show colors. All right. I'm going to pull out those two colors right now. We're going to use this wonderful guy here. So this paper is by Mueller. They're a company in Germany. You can memorize it by that little chicken or rooster. I always joke around and say it's the chicken paper. And really nice folks. Got to meet them last year at NWS. They were one of the sponsors. All right, this is a cold press paper. Let's go ahead and start with this cadmium yellow deep. So again, if you're just now joining me, don't freak out. This cadmium yellow says hue, not because it's a student brand, because it has no metals in it, okay? If this was something scary to have, it would have to have, for the state of California, a caution sticker. All right, let's go ahead and get out my brush. For today's brush, I'm going to use a smaller synthetic brush by Escoda. I'm very grateful. Escoda sent me some new brushes. I got two each of these perlas. I got a number 8 and a number 12. I'll be using those later. So let's see this wonderful color. Let's swatch it out, because some of these colors I don't typically use, but I'm considering using them for a painting. So we got a really nice yellow here. So some of you know that I normally use like a Quinn Gold Deep, which is nothing like this. And I usually use a oh, come on, Gabriel, spit it out. Hansa Yellow Deep. All right. So this is the cadmium orange hue. All right. So we're checking these two out, and I'm gonna put them side by side with a little bit of a gap in between. And what am I doing? I'm seeing if this is a color that I want to use for upcoming painting. Okay, and so let's go and just grab these little guys. All right, so with the color harmony wheel, and you can get this color harmony wheel, it is on Amazon, and you shouldn't have to pay more than, I wouldn't pay more than $15 for it. This is who designed it. But I know my students have gotten this off. Even my friend Ken Goldman saw me introduce this, and he found it on Amazon. All right, moving forward. So this is our supporting actor, or our focal point for our painting. This color is going to be a supporting actor. And see, there's two. Now, if I had it just on one, like this, come on, then we would just have one color. But since I'm doing a split, okay, we've got two other colors, Hooker's Green and Permanent Green. So I'm going to take that Hooker's Green. It's going to go closer right here. And this is more of a traditional color scheme that we're looking at today. My colors that I use are not your typical colors. So that's a lovely green, and that's really, really different than the current color I use, which is Green Appetite. And what I could do is I could grab my dot card and point out to you the difference. Dun, dun, dun. Where are you, Mr. Dot Card? Here he is. Alright. So the green I usually use is Green Appetite. And that's very, very different than the color. And my other green on here is Olive Green. Very, very different again. So this painting, I am very much considering having more color, okay? I'm looking to create a very dynamic painting with richness in color, and that's why we are reassessing the color wheel. And I'm also looking to do a very dynamic painting where something is going to look really cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is this now is the permanent. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to need this just here shortly, I'm going to put it right out of the tube. You can see what it looks like right out of the tube there with the hooker's green. This one we got wet, right? We're going to take a little permanent green here. Put some permanent green, a nice little dot of it right there. Boom, boom, boom. Come back over here to the CAD. All right. So I'm setting this up just like the color wheel, but I'm choosing the colors in which I'm considering for this painting. Okay. And you're going to see why I'm doing this just here shortly. All right. On to the color wheel. So, say if this is the start of the show, then we're going to need these two reds. And what we got is Madder Lake, which is really close for Daniel Smith. I'm choosing Pyro Scarlet and Alims and Crimson. But I'm using permanent Alims and Crimson because of the light fastness. Okay? What is light fastness? Light fastness assures you that the life and quality of the paint is going to have a good life for you. All right, that's something you definitely want to consider for a painting if that matters to you. All right, we're hopping in and swatching out this red. Look at that lovely thing. And I'm going to leave a little dab of color. All right. We now have, and you're getting to see how this color lays on this paper. So we're getting to see, one, the chroma of this paint and the quality of this paper and this brush. All right. So again, this is the Ultimo, and it's a number 12 by Escoda. All right, moving forward, we are looking at the permanent Alims and Crimson next. I'm going to put it right here, like that. And we're going to swatch this color out. He should look nice and cool. A nice, cool red. There we go. Very nice. So these two are complementary colors. Okay? These are on the opposite of the color wheel. These guys are somewhere in between, right? Next, we have some greens. Bluish greens. We're going to go first with, and we'll look at our color wheel. There's a little slight, tiny little thing up this like bluish teal color. Okay? And then this little slight, this right in here, this cobalt turquoise. So I just need just a little bit of this little guy here, right in there. In the painting, there's not going to be a whole bunch of that, but there'll just be like just enough where it gives it some like some nice razzle dazzle, just a little good looking eye candy in my painting. Look at how nice and light that is. Isn't that lovely? All right. Then we've got our good friend, Cobalt Turquoise. All right. So I'm not doing this for Daniel Smith. I'm doing this for myself. It just happens to be that, yes, I am a brand ambassador for Daniel Smith. and I primarily use the Daniel Smith line. Here we go. It's a brand new tube. I love this color. This is a must-have. And look at this. Wow. Isn't that lovely? Very nice color. I'm going to move the camera down just a little. Alright. With that said, we're now going to look at some blues. We're going to pull out cerulean blue, cobalt blue, and ultramarine blue. And for my purple, I'm using this wonderful imperial. Okay, so first up we have cerulean. I do use cerulean. It's one of my faves. It's something that I must always have. It's a great color for skies. Okay, so let's go ahead and swatch this one right in here, right next to this dude. Very nice. Alright, next we're going to pull out the watercolor stick. And we're just going to take this out like so. And, do you guys have any questions about these colors? I'm going to check the chat. And let's see. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, there we go. What was the turquoise? Susan asked. The turquoise was cobalt turquoise. Okay. And then we had the cobalt teal blue. Thank you for asking. And sorry if I didn't speak too clearly. Now we've got the cobalt blue. So I can put some of this right on here. And then I can paint actually from the stick like this. So I dipped it in the water first. Now, see that? I can also take this stick and my palette. So the sticks are nice because they retail around, $9. I wouldn't pay more than $11 in the US. So I can put some of this cobalt blue in here. Okay. Set the stick down, and then I can add water. And see, that's ready to rock and roll. And here's the cobalt blue. That's the very last of it. It's time for me to get another tube. And so maybe Santa Claus will come early this year. Alright. Moving forward, we just had the cobalt blue. We are going to go ahead and get out our good friend ultramarine blue. This is a color I use a lot. It's one of those must-have colors in your tool belt because it goes... It's a color that is used in paintings quite a bit. Alright, we're going to swatch out this blue. Do you see how those two look different? Very much so, right? So, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue. Do you see how it's moving warmer? Did you see how these blues were moving greener? Okay. That's having a good eye, alright? Our next color up is this imperial purple. And I'm going to have to sneak him over here in the corner. There he is. And with a smaller brush, I'll go ahead and bust out the perla. Bum, bum, bum. We've got the perla. And the only reason I'm using the perla because I just need a little more control. And it has that nice tip. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? So on here, It says dioxide purple or violet, and this is pretty darn close. See that? See this purple? Look at that purple. Close enough for me. All right. Let me check the chat here. And what do we got? I'm just waiting. For some reason, the chat is jumbled up. Susan found it on Amazon. That's awesome. And yeah, for some reason, like the letters are overlapping. All right, whichever. Let's see, live chat. How about that? Does that work better? Huh. For some reason. Oh well. I'm not gonna sweat it. Let's see. There we go. All right. Now, that's our purple. Yes. So the other color I'm gonna pop in there is this lavender. And lavender, how you can tell what's in here is it says right there. It says it has ultramarine blue, which is PV15, pigment violet 15. Look at here. Here's your ultramarine blue. And it says, oh, that it smushed it right there. Shucks. Let's see if I can get it to push out. Nope. Ultramarine blue. Oh, PB29. And right here it says PB29. See that? So this lavender has PB29 and PV15. And then it also has titanium white in it, okay? PW6. Which over here, here's our titanium white, okay? And we go right here, and look what's in here. Pigment titanium white, which is PW6. See that? So if you don't have lavender, you can mix these two together and get kind of close. But it's still missing one other wonderful ingredient, and that is the ultramarine violet. So you might have ultramarine violet and ultramarine blue, okay? And you can make this lavender. Or you can just buy this a lavender, right? We're going to put just a little dab of this purple here. This lavender. It's in this realm, okay? It's not over here in the greens. How do I know it's right there? Because this chart tells me so. Check it out. So, if I add some of these reds or this oranges, I get these mixtures with these colors. See these grays in here? All right. So that's kind of like that lavender, but this is still a little more purpley, okay? Look at all these other nice little grays, okay? So what's it say? It says include both parts, make up your group, okay? So if we use these, all right, then we use these, we make these colors in here, okay? So let's get back to the star of our show. So if I want to get some of these cool colors, I mix them. Hey, Deb. It's good to see you, Debbie. Just in time. We just swatched out some wonderful new colors. New to me, but they've been in the Daniel Smith family. And so what we're going to now look at is we're going to want to make a dynamic painting. And with that said, let me move this over here. Susan Hunter, hey. So, yes, look at how bright this little palette is. Isn't that just lovely? All right, so what we're gonna do, bum, bum, bum. I am going to grab one other thing that's gonna help me. So, I'm gonna grab this little box, and this little Escoda brush box. Oh my goodness, if you don't have one of these cool boxes yet, you should get your hands on. These 3 brushes come with it. This comes out, and yeah, it's a great set. Comes with a Chronos, and it comes with this Prado, and then it comes with the Ultimo. But I gotta use it to prop up my I'm using it right now to prop up my picture so you can see. All right, we are gonna move this over just a titch. All right, so the paper I'm using, that I'm painting on now, is the Kilimanjaro, and you're gonna see how this paper compares to that paper, and you make the choice. I like to share these things and be neutral on it, and you make your decision. So, for some reason, I can't get my iPad out of the holder. It's a new holder holding my iPad. Oh my goodness, technology is amazing, right? So, it's fine. Let's look at what we're gonna do is kind of like some little boxes right here. And what I'm thinking is when I'm looking at creating a painting, I like to look at a tic-tac-toe board, okay? And what I'm gonna do is with this little brush, this little Escoda number 8, I'm going to just get the color first of my Star of the Show, and I'm gonna put that Star of the Show color right here. And I'm gonna put this other color that goes with this Star of the Show right here. Okay, so I got the 2 of those, but there's gonna be more of one than the other. This one, like so. All right. And then I've got all these other colors that are gonna complement that. Mainly blues, right? And so if I look at the color wheel and I move this bad boy right there, now it has those 2 colors, but I'm gonna slightly shift it so there's more of this orange, cadmium orange, than that cadmium yellow deep. All right. So next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take just a smidget of this red, and I'm gonna put this red over here in this corner. Okay. Behind that red, there's going to be a cool color in the background. And this is maybe a building back here. Okay. Sorry you can't see the photo reference, but just bear with me. You're gonna see what's going on. All right. Then there's a nice blue sky that's right up in here. What are we doing? This is actually what they do. There's actual guy that does coloring for movies, like for Disney and stuff. And this is his job. His job is to make these cool colors, and it's really not anything particular. What we're looking at is just shapes and color. This is a really good exercise. I'm gonna drop some purple in here now to make this kind of pop. So all these colors we're putting down right in here into this painting is going to make, hopefully, the star of our show look the best. Now, we're going to put some shadows down here. And then we're going to put some other blues right in here. Okay. Then we're going to add some more of our orange right in here. Look at that. Pretty wild, huh? You're like, what are you painting, Gabriel? We're going to take some of that lavender and put some of this lavender over here. What we're doing is we're looking to see if these colors work together. And I'm going to show you why. Now, we're now going to step into our red. We've got this nice dark red, and we're going to put him in right up here like this. I think you could start to see what I'm painting. If you notice what I'm painting, put it in the chat. I'm curious. We're just right now just shape painters. There's some red right in there. There is, so we've used, now there's some greens. Very minimal greens, remember? There is one green that I want to put in here for sure. That is that hooker's green, and it's right in here. Okay, and we're gonna put, remember our little teal green? We want to get that one in there. The teal green is gonna go right over here, like this. Okay. Not a lot. It's got to be actually less than that. So I'm going to lift some of that out. There's going to be some of that purpley color right here. Look at that. There's going to be some more of this blue. This is now the cobalt blue. Right over here, there's these things over here. There's supposed to be two. I want two. These counteracting shapes are meant to make the orange shape look like something special. Isn't this wild? And you're like, what are you painting? It really doesn't matter what I'm painting. What matters is, are we using some colors that are working and playing well together? That is our goal right now. And the more and more I add some of these colors, you're gonna go, oh, I know what he's working on. And this thing doesn't have to be perfect. I'm starting to put down some more reds. Dun dun dun. There's some more oranges. Some of you have been following me a while. You will know what I'm painting because you've seen me paint this subject before. There's some more purpley color back here. This thing kind of comes up like that. And there are some people right here pushing this thing here. And if you don't know what this is, that's perfectly fine. The thing is this color thing working or not? Does this look attractive? Does this like look like something interesting? That is more important, whether if it's the subject or not. And that's a really weird concept. But the fact that we are putting these colors down and we are playing with these lovely hues, we are experimenting and playing with color. Let's go ahead and put this darker over here. And there's some of that blue stuff in there. All right. So now let's look at what I already have for a palette. And let's pretend I didn't have those colors. Okay. So here's my palette. We're going to move it this way. So let's make our square. And you'll see, it'll all come together. And then you guys will go, oh my goodness. So we've got this. This comes like that. The start of the show starts right over here. All right. So an orange I have is Pyro Orange. Okay. So Pyro Orange looks like this. Okay. The orange that I was using just a minute ago looks like... Uh-oh. Sorry, folks. We had a catastrophe. The orange I was using looks like that. Do you see how this makes a better play for this scenario? Okay. So let's put that Pyro Orange here. And I could probably even change the shape. Like this. Maybe that's a car. Okay. Now, I have a different blue. This is manganese blue. Here. So I'll put the colors that are on my palette on this side. Okay. And then we had cerulean blue or cobalt blue, right? Let's look at that. Wow. Look at the difference. Very different, right? This is nice and warm. This is cool. And temperature. Okay? So let's put that blue down where I was painting this blue here. Oops, I almost used the wrong color. We're using this blue. This is what I typically use. So this blue, like that. Now, I did have ultramarine blue on both palettes. So ultramarine blue, but let's compare it to just the purple. So, well, I do have a purple. Never mind. Here's Moon Glow. You all know I like Moon Glow. We'll put Moon Glow right here. It's really dark compared to what I'm about to use. Moon Glow. And then this is the cobalt. No, that is... Where'd you go, buddy? Oh, this is the Imperial Purple. Okay. So, I still love that color. But for this painting, I need this purple. Alright, so the ultramarine blue for our painting, we'll put in this shadow thing going this way again with that ultramarine blue and the shadow and this thing, shadow. Okay, but we're adding Moon Glow this time. So dropping in the Moon Glow, which is getting really too dark right now. It doesn't have to say anything about the actual color itself per se, but do you see how there is they're not in color harmony, and that's why we're using the color harmony color wheel, right? All right, next we have yellow. So this yellow, right? let's put it here. And we wanted some of that yellow going here. Like this. Oh, actually, I just goofed. My bad. There's the yellow. So this yellow, gold yellow, which isn't working very well with that blue. It's going green on us. Okay. I like this color over here. I like that yellow with that orange. All right. Next, we have the turquoise, right? So that we have the turquoise. And typically I use Sleeping Beauty. And here's Sleeping Beauty. And they're kind of close. They're kind of close. Real close. So that turquoise was just kind of like here. And back in there. And then we have to use the manganese blue here. All right. We have to use our goldish color here. All right. So this, if we look here, oops. And if we look here, what we're wanting to do, friends, okay, we're wanting to maybe, if you want to make a painting that might get a little more attention, we might want to bump up the chroma, meaning the actual color, okay? I do tend to paint my paintings pretty gray, okay? I use lots of stones and minerals in my paints, and they tend to look a little more atmospheric. But if I'm wanting to make a painting that's high in saturation, I might need to change my palette, okay? And so usually I paint on my own. Usually this hangout session is me painting and you seeing, but I really want to show you the importance of having a range of other tubes than you normally paint with. And what that being is, I normally don't paint with these cadmiums or these greens, okay, or these reds here, or this purple, okay. So I'm looking at, a painting of mine right now. I'll bring it on the camera and look at this painting. This is a recent one. This was from Maryland or Pennsylvania, one or the other. My trip, this is a painting from that trip. And what would this painting look like if we were to use this red? Okay, this is red scarlet. I typically use pyro red. Okay, so this red is more like a fire engine. This red is a little bit softer. Okay, a little bit softer. Okay, I'm also mixing in pyro orange. Saw when we mix this color, right, that we get this this kind of like this glowy, right, kind of color. Now there is one other pyro orange, and it's actually transparent pyro orange, and I want to just reintroduce this color. I've used this color in the past, but it's been a minute since I've used it. So there's the pyro. This is the transparent pyro orange. And let's swatch this out. I'm going to grab some clean water here. Clean-ish. And let's see what this lovely color. Wow, look at that. Isn't that amazing? It's it is gorgeous. Look at that. But it's still not like the cadmium orange, is it? Let's pull that one back out. So there's the cadmium orange. Here's our pyro orange. And pyro orange, cadmium orange, transparent pyro orange. I might put this one in for the painting. I'm looking at the photo reference right now, and I am seeing that exact color right now with a little bit of this. So this is why I'm taking this time to plan this next painting instead of just going with the normal colors scheme that I usually have in my palette. Okay. Before we run out of time, holy cow, what we're gonna look at real quick. 52 minutes. Today just flew past us, didn't we? I want to show you, what if we take that color and we put it on a different textural paper. Okay, so I've got this paper here. This is by Master Joseph Z. Zavukovich. So Joseph Zavukovich. This is the master paper by Bohong. And I want to open this up for the first time. Joseph he is here in San Diego. You guys might have saw him last night. He did a demo. I did not get to go to the demo. I was teaching over at Art on 30th. And we've got a good group over there. We're going to now look at this pyro orange on this other paper. So you can only get this paper in Europe. Well, I take that back. You can get Bohong paper in the United States, but not with this cool artwork on there. That's one of his paintings. All right. It comes with this little protective paper on it. So you first have to reach in here and pull off that protected sheet. Do you already see how rough that paper is? Look at that texture. Holy mackerel. So this is not rough paper, but cold press. Okay. This paper is 100% cotton. Okay. And the nice thing about our friends over at Kilimanjaro, this is their bright white. Okay. So let's look at the comparison. You make the decision. I'm just the messenger. So this is kind of not as bright, right? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Are they the same? Maybe they're the same. But they're definitely different in texture, right? All right. let's try the Pyro Orange on this bad boy. I'm really excited to see how it looks. So now that I've kind of picked out my colors, minus this one now, and I'm going to do the Pyro Orange. Okay, transparent Pyro Orange. Now, my next step is, what kind of paper am I going to paint on? Now, there's one other paper we haven't done yet, other than this one. It is Fabiano paper, which this is Fabiano paper. And look how amazing this Fabiano paper is. Look at that granulation. Isn't that pretty cool? So, this paper is from Italy. I got another little small one, so this guy fits in the camera too. So look at this cute little guy. You don't have to buy one of these big honkers like this. 9x12. If you want to try this out, you can try out this small one. 4x6. A little less commitment, but you can try out the paper. I am looking for the Pyro Orange. Here it is. Alright, so Pyro Orange. Just a little dabble, do ya? And we're at 56 minutes. Thank you so much for coming on here. I'll wet my whistle. I'm going to check the chat while I'm taking a drink of my kombucha. And for some reason, Deb and Susan and a few of your others on here, I cannot see the text. It is so crazy. Like, the text, it's like overlapping for some reason. It's so bizarre. All right. Let's see what this Pyro Orange looks like. Got some nice clean water here. We're looking at how does this Pyro Orange play on this paper. And look at that. Pretty wild. Let's add a little more angle on this. And what are we seeing right now? We are seeing some wonderful granulation of the Pyro Orange falling into the rough paper, and that is because of the particle sizes of the pigment. This moves around too. The other thing we could do is just splash a little bit of water on here, just to add some little texture, even more texture. Look at that. Wow. That is worth buying right there. That color by Daniel Smith, right? So, but I'm not sure if this is the texture I need for my subject matter, because so this is rough paper and this is cold press. And let me get rid of the words on the screen. And so I'm thinking it's gonna have to be this paper, or if I use the bow hung paper, it would not be the rough for my painting. And so I think I could go this route, but I'm glad I tried this, because this is reminding me what I want to use for a future up and coming painting as well. And man, I really wish I could read your guys' comments today. Let me try scrolling a different way. Bum bum bum. Well, shucks. Let me hop on the camera here and see if that changes anything. All right. Hey. Oh, look, and we have a friend. Kinder's here. Well, thank you for joining me. I'm gonna see if I could see this wonderful chat better. Let's see. Shucks, this is so bizarre. Well, thank you. I kind of see who's all here by registering your photo on your YouTube channel. Well, thank you so much for joining me. For some reason, I can't dismount the reference photo on my new tablet. I was blessed with a new tablet, and it's gonna be okay. Oh, my wife's got the comments. Thank you so much, sweetheart. All right, we have Deb says, love your barns. I thought it said love your brains, and I love my brains too. But yes, thank you, Deb, for loving my barns. Susan was saying nice. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Maybe the barn. Let's see what else we got here. You can see Kinder a little better. There he is over there hanging out. Sharon, welcome, Sharon. Sharon. Oh, and guess what? Debbie guessed it. She guessed it. I was painting a plane. That shape was a plane. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And can you guess what kind of plane it was, Deb? Let's see. A biplane. Susan got it. Biplane. Very nice, Susan. And I think I painted that plane before. But it was inside the shop, and they're actually pushing this plane out of the shop. All right, and then let's see. Oh my goodness, Susan, really? It was $59 in Canada? No, you should be able to get it a lot cheaper. Shoot. Maybe next time when you're in the States, the Harmony will. I know my students have not been paying $60 for it, so try maybe eBay. Oh, and you could probably try Temu. Let's see. Susan also said I've been doing Shudo. What is Shudo? Or is that studio? And yeah, it's cold where Susan lives with flurries. Oh my gosh, snow with flurries. Well, if you don't have any other, yes, the barn. Of course, not my brains. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for stopping by today and me getting to share this process. This process of maybe considering picking out the specific colors for a specific painting. If you are doing maybe a project and my goal is to maybe grab a little more attention and from maybe the juror or something, that the painting can stand out a little bit more, or maybe you're doing this project for something special, maybe picking out specific colors. But yes, if it's your normal going out plein air painting, you don't have to change your colors every time. But like if I wanted to paint Kinder, I would want that orange, right? I wouldn't want, this orange, okay? Or maybe I would have that orange but mix it with this red, if that's the case. And so if that matters to you. But thank you so much. I appreciate you guys stopping by here each week. We've had so much fun with this channel. And if you want to see even the older ones before we started this channel, those videos are over on my Facebook. And I just recently deleted a whole bunch of weird accounts that were on my 5,000 followers account, so that I can actually invite some real people that that are on Facebook but not Instagram to engage with me over there. If you haven't seen it, I just posted it. The National Watercolor Society in San Pedro, just north of here, just started their volunteer show. And wow, it was so amazing to be a part of this show. Being a volunteer with the National Watercolor Society, we have an amazing team of people that put on a great show. You can go to YouTube. It just popped up there today. If you can't find it on YouTube, it is on Facebook. Just search in there, National Watercolor Society 2023 volunteer show. It's available. You can purchase them, and you can see the caliber of art that is being made. I'm so honored to be working along with such an amazing group of painters, and I learned so much, not just about painting, but also admin stuff from these wonderful people. But anyways, you didn't come here to listen to me talk about office stuff. Again, the brushes I used were the Escodas Perlas that just came in the mail, a 12 and an 8. I also used the Ultimo, which was the number 14, I believe. Bum, bum, bum. Number 12. And I like this. It's a nice synthetic. So these are all synthetics if you care about it not being animal stuff. And yeah, we looked at some wonderful Daniel Smith colors. We looked at Kilimanjaro paper. We looked at Bohong paper. And we looked at the chicken paper. The Han Mueller. And again, the color wheel. Harmony color wheel, though. Okay, this is different. This thing has saved my booty. Because how has it saved my backside? Because what if I haven't been using lemon yellow? And I have a tube of lemon yellow. You might have this case. Maybe you haven't been using your vermilion. But now we know if you haven't been using your vermilion and that tube has just been sitting in your little toolbox, you know now that lemon yellow and magenta will mix some really cool colors, and you know that this range of color here will accent. So many times have you or I'm guilty of, I need to use that vermilion color. It's just sitting there drying up. Not so much with watercolor, but with other oils and acrylics, they dry up. Watercolor, that's what I love. You can continue to use the watercolor. So we know if we're not using, say, sap green. So you have a tube of sap green. And now I know that I need ultramarine blue and maybe, oh, it moved on me. Sorry, sap green with some turquoise and with some cad orange. All right, so there you go. Have a wonderful day, and I think that's it. Yeah, I'll show you the painting one more time. Totally something different than I normally do. Adding the colossal cartoon character in a plein air painting done with James Gurney. If you don't know who James Gurney is, after this video, go check him out. Have a wonderful day. Take care, and I'll see you later. Bye.